Oh, hi everybody, I forgot to turn the camera on then. Ah, excuse me. Hello, welcome. If you're waving back to me, I'm waving back to you too. Not much to show really. Very unexciting in this household. Except I've actually finished the pieces off of my niece's sweater. So now it's looking a little bit like, if you've ever watched The Addams Family, when she was knitting a sweater for the baby, Morticia. And it had about 5 arms, I think. Looks a bit like that, doesn't it? I'm going to have to block it, I think, before I... Well, try to block it. I've got nowhere to block it. Try to block it anyway, to try and stitch it together a bit better. I'm hoping the postman doesn't interrupt. He's already been today. Not bringing anything I can show you because it's just a couple of gifts, Christmas gifts for my family and other people, which I can't show, obviously. But I'm still ploughing on with my niece's cardigan. It's just grown a wee bit. Not an awful lot when I find the end of it. Not an awful lot. It's grown a bit. I can concentrate more on it now. I've actually, well, I always call it finished when I've finished knitting or crocheting something. And it's far from being finished because it's got to be all stitched up, which is an evening's work in itself. But anyway, there we go. That's where I'm up to. No, that's upside down, sorry. Thought I'd gone wrong for a minute and I realised that was the rib. There we go. Growing a bit more. It's not looking quite as huge as it did when I first started it. It should fit her, I hope. She doesn't button her cardigans anyway, my elder niece, so should be okay. Well, that's about the sum total of what I've got to show you, really. Except I got a little list from the pharmacist, which is really good because when you open it up, it tells you top 6 winter illnesses, and there's also a tip on how to, on a hangover cure and an indigestion cure. They obviously think I'm going to have a far more exciting Christmas than I really am. Yeah. Talking about winter illnesses, my son's workmen have all come down with this norovirus, you know. Without going into too much detail, it's sick and the other. And they're all really poorly. So he's stuck at the moment, you know, because his kitchen's arriving tomorrow, I think. No, it arrived last night, I beg your pardon. But he can't do anything because he can't assemble it or whatever until... Because it all arrives flat pack, as everything does in this country. I don't know about the US, but everything arrives flat pack in this country. It doesn't matter how much you pay for it, it doesn't matter where it comes from. It all arrives flat pack. It's probably all to do with delivery costs, isn't it? I did get a new, well, new to me pattern. It's not new at all. It's done in double knitting and it's a Peyton's one. I think it's rather cute. It just has one size, but I'm sure I can adjust it. It's just as they used to be in the older patterns. Size 32 to 38 actually measures 40, which of course would not fit me, but adjustment will be required. There we go. It says easy crochet. I shall leave that and tell you later if it's easy crochet. And the only other exciting thing I've got today is I've given up on the hooks getting put on the bathroom door, so I've actually bought some suction hooks to hold the towel because I'm fed up of it dangling on the floor. Nothing else I've got really except a letter from the hospital. They send you letters out telling you, you know, what had been discussed. And of course on my letter, what has been discussed is she's aware of her diagnosis of osteoarthritis and knows it's a surgical condition in the future of a total hip replacement. She is aware that she has a weight issue. Regarding surgical procedures, I hope that she has attended the weight management programme. I did. It wasn't any good, so I didn't go anymore. I've been to one in the past without overall benefit. We've discussed the benefits of weight reduction today, of which Mrs. Crothers is aware that she will try her best over the next couple of months. I mean, at Christmas, Come on, are you kidding? I will book her a further review with Mr. Kim in 2 to 3 weeks to assess her progress at this point. Christmas. Losing weight. Those two things do not equate. Sorry, but they don't, yeah? It's the one time of year where you wear your stretchy waist trousers, isn't it? You know, let everything go. Whoop. Yeah. Talking about trousers, I brought me, I can't reach up. Brought me beautiful green velvet trousers downstairs. As I told you, it's got a concealed zip, which is very, very beautiful, but I cannot do the top up. So I've discovered that if I put the zip sort of there and just put some hooks and eyes, it's not that it's too small, it's just that it's very, very stiff, this invisible zip. And there's just no leeway, there's no seam at all for you to do anything about it. And I cannot pull it up all the way to the top, although there's room in the waistband for me to do it. So I'm going to put leave the zip there and put some little hooks and eyes at the top. Because I always wear a sweater over the top anyway. But they're beautiful. Look at that dark green velvet. Might look black on the camera, but they are a beautiful bottle green. One of my Santa sweaters has arrived. I have one from last year and I've ordered 2 for this year, and one of them's arrived. So I'm going to be wearing my Santa sweaters, whether you like it or you don't. I'll be wearing my Santa sweaters on the video, because there's there's not really many days when you can actually wear a Santa sweater, is there? So, no, I've got hiccups. This is a great video. I've got a couple more presents to buy. I've got, as you can see, 2 more presents to finish. And then I'd also got a little crochet dolly and some finger puppets to knit or crochet before Christmas. So I don't think I'm doing too badly, unless I stress myself by making something else. I do this to myself every year. I set a list of what I want to do and I do it. And then I think, wouldn't it be nice if I made this? Or wouldn't it be nice if I made that? Just to go with what I bought. Because when I lay them out, what I've got, my family, you see, my brother's family, are very, very generous at Christmas. And they buy me lots and lots of little presents. I don't mean really expensive presents, but they do buy me one expensive present. Or 2, 2, I think, yeah. But the rest, they buy me lots and lots of little presents because they know I like to open lots of little presents. It can be things like a bottle of shampoo wrapped up, but to me it's exciting because I'm opening up presents, you know. It's not the cost of the presents, it's just the fact that I've got a lot of presents to open and it really thrills me. And they wrap the shampoo and the conditioner up separately, you know, and if there's any body wash they wrap that up separately. I mean, long ago I told them not to buy me expensive gift sets because I tend to think too good to use for every day. And they stay on the shelf and they don't get opened, yeah? So I said, just buy me normal, off the supermarket shelf toiletries. Then I will use them, yeah? You know, the ordinary face cream. I mean, I did get asked once by a viewer on here, what do I use on my face? To be honest, I don't have a brand. I don't have expensive cosmetics on my face at all. I was just taught when I was very young to just moisturise and more moisturise. And never go to bed with makeup on. So that's the only skincare that I do, apart from having very good genes. Because my mum and my grandma never looked their age. I don't think my mum had wrinkles when she was 90, you know. She didn't have wrinkles at all, you know. She just had... And the advantage, of course, is living in the northwest like I do, is it rains a lot. So rain is actually good for your skin because it keeps your skin moisturised, you know. If I lived in the desert, I'd probably be like an old prune by now. But, and I never put my face into the sunshine whenever we do get sunshine. Or when I go abroad, which is not very often. But I never put my face into the sun. I was given this tip by a lady down the street from me when I was about 30 maybe. She saw me sunbathing and she said, take your face out of the sun. She says, you'll have a face that looks like old boot leather if you do. So I don't know why she impressed on me, because she always so elegant. She was a very elegant lady. She looked like she stepped off the cover of Vogue. She always wore a long swinging coat and she would sometimes wear a big hat. But she was so elegant. You never saw her looking scruffy at all. Such an elegant lady. And sadly, you know, before she died, she lost her sight. But bless her heart, she would try. Although her eye makeup was a little bit all over the place, it was still, she would put these great big glasses on over the top, sunglasses type of thing. She was an absolute lovely lady. But towards the end it was very sad, because if I saw her and I said to her, hello Audrey, she would say, sorry, but who are you? And I had to tell her who I was, and then she would say, oh, of course, I hope you don't mind, but I can't see you anymore. And I thought it was so sad, because she was such a proud lady, beautiful lady. And up to her going blind, she was I just got the bee's knees with clothes and everything. I used to see her walking up the street and she was so elegant, yeah. I love elegant women. I've never really been one, because where I live, you know, you wouldn't really fit in if you wore like an elegant coat or a big hat. I think that's the beauty of living in a big city, is that you can sort of merge more into the background if you want to dress a little bit more elegantly. You know, if you want to wear if you have any, I don't have any, but if you want to wear your diamond earrings, you know, on a play day, you can, you know, and nobody. I do, you know, admire these ladies who want to look good. I mean, they don't do it to impress anyone, they want to do it because they like to do it. This is why I dress the way I do at the moment. I've been always repressed with what I wore. I was repressed because when I was working, you were expected to have a office code, because I was working with the general public, and you were expected to be in the, you know, the jacket and the matching trousers, or the jacket and the skirt with the heels. You know, you're expected to be very, very smart. There was none of this jeans and a t-shirt and trainers. Whoa! That was absolutely frowned upon. Because I worked for the government, you see, and you had to keep a certain standard. The idea was to separate you from the customer, so that, you know, it made you look authoritarian, if that's the word. I mean, a lot of people say that's a load of rubbish, but when you're desperate for a job and you're in your 50s and you get a job like I did, you toe the line. You know, it's no good being a rebel, is it, when you want the job and you need the money. When I retired at first, it took me a while to get out of this whatever you call it, conformism of dressing. I just still dressed the way that I used to when I was working. Probably because I still had all the clothes. But gradually I've sort of developed my own style. It's still not the way I would like to dress. But the way I would like to dress is terribly expensive, which I don't have the money. So I dress the way I like to dress, but on a budget, if you follow my drift. So I've determined that one of my New Year's resolutions will be dress how you want, put on what you want, and don't bother what anybody else thinks. I've got to the age now where they expect me to be a little bit eccentric, and so I'm going to be a little bit eccentric. Sure you don't mind. What am I wearing today? Oh, just a purple dress. And have you noticed it's not adorned with doggy hair, because my little Gigi's having a day at home today. So, let me put my drink down, even though I didn't have a drink of it. So I'm just wearing a waistcoat I made. This is some Karen Simply Soft that I got sent. Do you know, I'm going to have to write myself notes. People send me wonderful gifts, and I forget who sent me them. Really do. I don't forget who sends me gifts. I just forget which ones came from who, yeah? I've got a terrible memory. So if it was from you, thank you very much. But I've forgotten who sent it me. Anyway, it's gorgeous. It's lovely. Karen Simply Soft is so wonderful. And I just trimmed it around the edge with some fairy wool, because to be quite honest, I ran out of wool for the edging. because I only had 2 balls. Not that I'm complaining. I do love, I'm like a lot of people, because we can't get American wool. Well, we can get some. Because we can't get American wool over here, we love it. You know, you'll always hear people saying, oh, Red Heart, oh, it's Red Heart, or it's Simply Soft, or it's this, or it's that. I mean, don't get me wrong, we can get something called Red Heart over here, because it's made by Coats's, I think, over here. But it isn't like yours. It isn't like the US ones. But I mean, I've had some lovely gifts, which I haven't started for myself yet. I am really looking forward to the craft room, which has been put back, of course, because of the house situation. And then I can put everything on view, and then I can see exactly what colours I've got in all my beautiful eyeshadow, which is all hidden at the back of somewhere or other. I keep thinking, it'd make lovely virus shawls, that, or it'd make lovely shawls of a different pattern. But it's just too daunting at this time of year to be going rummaging, trying to get bags down, trying to find something. So at the moment I'm just crocheting what I've been buying recently. I know my family think I'm completely woo-woo, but it's easier for me to buy something in and it comes in and I use it than it is to go and search. I'm sure you're all with me on this thinking business, because you're mostly all crafters who watch me, so you understand my logic. But a person like my son and my daughter-in-law who doesn't craft at all does not understand why I don't use up what I've already got. I would use up what I've already got if I could find it. But I don't want to make the stress to make too much of a point of it, because it might make them feel uncomfortable that they're still here when they should be gone, if you know what I'm saying. I don't want them to make them feel unwelcome, because they're not unwelcome. If you're wondering where my 2 beautiful dogs are, I don't know whether you can see them or not, but they're both sleeping. They've got no Gigi to bug them this moment today, and they've also been to the vets for their annual booster shots, and I think that's panned them out. It was a bit upsetting the other day when my daughter-in-law was booking the appointment, and the woman said to her, are you booking all 3 dogs in? And it was like, there isn't 3 dogs anymore. Because they used to take Buster for his annual boosters as well. And it was a bit sad, really. Because unfortunately he passed away last year before it was time for his boosters. Anyway, we won't think about that at Christmas time. Yeah. I haven't got my Christmas tree down because my son's been so mithered about the house and different things going wrong that I haven't asked him if he'd have a look in his bedroom and see if he can find the tree. I thought that might be just, thing that broke the camel's back. I'll wait while he's in a good mood, and then I'll just say to him, I'll do the tree if he brings it down for me. It's only in a box, little box, it's only a small tree. If he brings it back, because I don't like going in. To me, it's a violation of privacy going into someone else's bedroom, unless you have a good reason to. I know they would say go in and get it, but to me that's their private space, and I just don't violate it. I did go in and make the bed for them to come back home when they were away, because to me that was just something to do so they wouldn't have to do it when they came in at 1:30 in the morning, yeah? But apart from that, I wouldn't violate their space at all, wouldn't go in at all. I don't know why when my son grew a little bit older, I would always knock on the door before I walked into it, when he was in his own bedroom. I would always knock on, or I would open the door a little crack, just so I couldn't see him but I could shout in. To me it's just politeness, isn't it? A thing that's missing in a lot of places in the world today, politeness. I mean, yes, he opens the door and he walks in here because he's got permission to do that, But before, when he moved out and he had his own house to live in, he wouldn't have dreamt of doing that. He would ring the bell. And it was the same with me and my mum and dad. Once I'd left home, I would ring the bell to come back in. And my mum would say, don't do that. You still got your key. Just come in. And if I did do that, I would stand in the hallway and say, it's only me, or hello, mum, dad, you know. Because I just felt, you know, it's like their space now, not my space. Maybe it's just me being weird. Oh, that's pretty. Across the road's put some lights inside their windows, and it's like twinkling lights, all like falling snow coming down the window. My ex used to do things like that. He was a great decorator, although he's pulling his face this year. He was the one who brought my son and daughter-in-law back from the airport. So they came in, obviously, for a cup of coffee, even though it was very late. And he was saying, oh, don't do that, don't do that. And I thought, yes, you will. I bet you've got fairy lights on the outside of your house. I mean, obviously, I don't go anywhere near where he lives because he lives too far away. I mean, he was joking with my son, well, our son, I should say, about where they're moving to, and Alan said, will you be able to get up on your scooter to see Ian and Trish when they move? And Arian turned around and said, no, we measured it, he said, to make sure it was just out of range of a scooter. He's got a wicked sense of humour. He's not. One of my friends could not get his humour at all. She thought he was really being nasty to me. But that is his sense of humour. It's also mine. So we share that thing, you know. You know, he can say something. Somebody else saying it to me would be rude. It would be really disrespectful. But you've got to be here to see it happening. You've got to see that cheeky, naughty look in his face when he says things to me. And you know he doesn't say it with malice. He doesn't say it with evil intent. He just says something. I mean, I think I told you the other night, the house was all in darkness. There was only me in the back room on the PC. And the bedroom curtains were drawn. So he come walking in and he went, oh, you're there. So I said, yeah. He said, got a bit worried. He said, oh, no, his wife said, we got a bit worried when we saw the bedroom curtains were drawn because they'd gone out and I was still in bed. And my son said, I was just stood outside counting me inheritance. Now other people might find that really nasty, but I just found that funny. He was obviously worried about me because he thought I was still in bed and I was ill or something. But his way of coping was to say, you know, I was outside counting me inheritance, you know. Oh dear. That's the kind of... I've got a flickering light. One of the lights must be flickering, although I can't see it, but I can see it reflected over there. I hate flickering lights. I'm not epileptic or anything, but they just affect me. Sometimes I get ocular migraine, which is migraine that makes you feel sick, but you don't have a mad headache. You just have like things coming at the sides of your eyes that flash green and yellow and everything. And then with me, all one side of my face sort of goes a bit paralysed, and I lose all the sight out of one eye. And I have to go like that to focus on anything. And when I had it, when I was working one time, I had to pull over to the side of the road and just sit there because I couldn't see to drive. And a guy, a lovely guy, he pulled up and he said, old chappie, very well dressed. Are you okay? He said, you don't look well at all. And in those days I didn't have a mobile phone. And I said, I've got ocular migraine, I can't see. I said, so I can't drive until it passes over. So he said, right, get your things. He says, tell me where you live. And he brought me all the way home. Oh, I've got Royal Mail coming. He's bringing me a parcel probably, but he's got a Santa hat on his aerial. If he's coming here, I better try and catch him before the dog's bark. Anyway, this lovely man, he brought me all the way home and then took my husband back to pick up the car. I thought that was so sweet of him because I didn't know what to do. I couldn't see to drive. And I knew it was dangerous, you know, to even attempt to drive home when you can't see. And, I don't know whether he's coming or not. Oh, he's opening the door, the back of it. So maybe he's coming. It's like Santa coming into it. Ooh. It's nothing for me. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing for me. It's things I've ordered for Christmas for people, other people, not for me. Yeah, he's got a big parcel for me. Excuse me one moment. I'll be back in a minute. Thank you. Everybody in, please. Everybody in. Sky, everybody in, please. He said, "They're for you," he said, as if it was going to be, he was like Santa Claus. Yeah, that's for me, but it's not for me, if you know what I mean. It's a prezi. Can't show you, I'm afraid. This is another that's a prezi, so again I can't show you. Because I don't know who's watching my videos. I know what it is, I can feel it. So sorry to wind you up, it's nothing exciting. It's, as I was saying, he's got a Santa Claus hat on his aerial, on his van, so he's obviously in a very festive mood. He looked quite happy actually for a moment. He was smiling. As he said, "These are for you." He was like Santa Claus. And I've got my knitting queen, because I have been actually knitting, haven't I? I've got to actually really make an effort to get some crocheting done tonight on my niece's cardigan. Really, really. Because I know it's quite a little bit of time till Christmas, about less than 2 weeks, but it's quite a little bit of time. But I've got to make this doll. I don't have to make this doll, but I want to make this doll. And if you knew me and amigurumi, it's not an easy task. The stuffing arrived, or the wadding, or the packing, whatever you want to call it, the stuffing arrived. So I've really got to get on with it now, otherwise I've got a big bag of stuffing and nowhere to put it, if you know what I mean. Although I could think of some places with some people I know, but we won't go into that. And anyway, if you're celebrating Christmas, I hope you're all ready and you're all excited. I got excited watching a video today. I watch Inside 23, although I don't knit much. She's a knitter primarily. But I do love watching when she does the daily vlogs, because she doesn't concentrate on knitting. She goes out and about, and she went to this Harry Potter, you know, the Warner Brothers studio tour. She went there, and it was really exciting because I know that I'll never get there to see it. And I have a confession to make, is that I've never actually seen any of Harry Potter's films. And I'm also the one person in the world who's never seen Jaws. I think everybody by now has seen Jaws except me. There's quite a few things I've never watched. You know, these really popular musical things. I'm thinking of getting a fire stove. So, excuse me, that's next door screaming. Not the humans, the children of me. I don't want to think I've got mad people living next door. What was I saying? I'm going to get something, a fire stick or something, to watch some films on TV, because I'm absolutely fed up of Christmas movies. I mean, I do love Christmas and I love all the spirit of it, but to me I want to watch Christmas movies just about the Christmas week. Not for the last 6 weeks, because by the time it comes to Christmas I've seen all the ones I want to watch. So I'm thinking of getting one of these plug-in things that go in the back of the telly where you can get some nice, you know, videos and things. I don't go out and I don't spend money on the cinema and things like that, so, you know, if I'm going to stay in, the films that they put on the TV are just never films I want to watch. And now I know that the family is still going to be here at Christmas, we might as well watch something we want to watch, instead of all reruns and Christmas programmes where I don't even like the people who are in them, you know what I'm saying? You know, all these fantastic Christmas programmes with a load of has-beens and wannabes and you know what I'm talking about. I mean, thank God the jungle thing's finished, has it? Or I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, or Big Brother House and all that. I hate all that sort of thing. No doubt there's going to be Christmas specials, or Towie Christmas specials, or whatever. Or Essex Way and that. You don't get them in America and you're so lucky. You've probably got some equally horrendous. What do you call them? Oh, reality shows, that's what they call them. I hate them with a passion. They're so phony and so fake and so full of people who want to be famous, and they're not famous for anything else except they're on a flipping reality show. Eee. I'm turning into Mr. Grinch. Grumpy old woman. I am a grumpy old woman sometimes. You don't see it, but I am, and I can be. If there's something absolutely ridiculous on the TV, I just, sets my teeth on end, and I'm just sitting there going, that's stupid, that's ridiculous, I don't believe that, it's a load of rubbish. I mean, I have to be quiet when I'm on with the family because they like to watch the things that I think are utter rubbish. They like to watch these quiz games and stuff like that, and I don't like them. Really don't like them. As soon as the music comes on, and we're inundated on the British TV, I don't know whether you are, with, people answering questions all the time, and sitting in front of the chaser and everything. I hate them with a passion. We have to watch Eggheads, we have to watch all sorts of things. I just take myself off and go in the other room. So it would be nice to have a Fire Stick or something that I can plug in and watch something different. Yay, me. Go me. And the one thing I don't have, which is very unusual, is that I don't have a TV in the bedroom. I have enough trouble sleeping without watching something on the TV. And I could never fall asleep upstairs with something flickering. I had a boyfriend once. Yes, I have had boyfriends in the past. And he could never sleep unless the TV was on. And if I stayed over, I was counting the hours around saying, And once he was fast asleep, I turned the volume down, but then even that wasn't enough because the lights were flickering and all that, so I turned it off. Lay back down thinking I'll go to sleep now. Boom! He was wide awake. Who turned the TV off? Needless to say, that was a very short-lived romance. I don't know why he had to have a TV on all night long, but obviously he did. I can't cope with it. I can fall asleep in front of the TV downstairs in my chair, don't get me wrong. But I wouldn't want it on all night. Yeah, not at all. No. Anyway, I think I'm more or less ready present-wise for Christmas. Although there are some more presents that were due to arrive. Oh, there's a new baby. Where's that going? Brand new baby going down the street. I must have missed that one. We're having a lot of babies on this street. It must be a rash. It must be catchy. This must be the fertile street. Come and live on this street if you want loads of babies. Although it didn't work for me. And now I forgot what I was saying because I told you I've got the brain of a goldfish. Can you remind me? What was I saying? Tell me. What was I talking about before I got distracted by a baby in a pram? I've no idea. No idea. Oh, I think I was talking about presents. I've got some more to come. They said they were being delivered today. And I do hope they don't arrive when my family are here because they're actually presents for them. But they don't notice when I take presents around you. They only notice when I get wool, yarn, whatever you want to call it. They're going, thought you had enough yarn. Yarn. They've got to recognise the purple bags of Purple Linda and the Kemp bags and the wool warehouse bags. They've got to, and the ice yarn, of course, it's got it plastered all over the side. Can't get away with that one. I love ice yarns, as you know, but I am deliberately not looking at those emails that arrive. No. Doesn't matter how much of a bargain it is, I am not looking. Because I've got enough. Says no crafter ever. I am mouthing the words, I have got enough yarn. I am mouthing them. Doesn't mean I mean them. But I'm saying them. And if I say it often enough, maybe I will convince my brain that I have got enough wool, enough yarn. Ain't gonna happen. Although last year I did very well. I made it my New Year's resolution, and I think I lasted until, well, when I say New Year's resolution not to buy yarn, that's not to buy yarn unless it is an order, because that's a separate issue, isn't it? That's work. I think I managed from January till about March or April last year. But I had a big splurge before January, so does that count? Does it count? Honestly. I know you were all like me. You just have to have that special ball of yarn that you see. You just have to have it, don't you? Yeah, I'm deliberately not looking at a lot of people's videos because I know they're going to show me some gorgeous yarns. And I'm not going to buy any till after Christmas. Way after Christmas. When I look at my bank balance after Christmas, it'll be because I've got to pay the carpenter, so I need to keep money in my account. And I've also got to finish paying the man who's going to put a new toilet in my downstairs loo, and he's got to finish doing the plastering. But of course he's been pulled out with his own work over Christmas, so he won't be coming till the new year either. But I can live with that. I'm not a person who says, oh God, I've got plastered walls, how terrible, how awful. I'm not one of those kind of people. Maybe if I had to live with it all day long and I knew it wasn't going to change, maybe I would feel a bit like that. But I want to decorate, well, not me personally, obviously. But I want to, put a coat of paint on things, but I'm just going to pace it all and do it all in my own good time. I'm not one of these women that say, I want it doing and I want it doing now, No, I'm not one of those kind of people. I'm just very patient. Never used to be when I was younger. I used to have a temper on me like there was nobody's business, but not now. I've learned it doesn't get you anywhere, getting angry with people. All it does is raise your blood pressure. I mean, I have my moments, but it's usually not with people that I know. It's usually with corporations, companies, people who really pee me off. But even then I've learnt to be coolly sarcastic on the telephone. And if you can spare a moment out of your terribly busy day, would you mind looking to see if this is happening or that's happening? That's my telephone voice. I perfected that, I think, when I was working in the job centre with the government. I know you're terribly busy, but would you mind going to look for a job at some time in your busy week? I had that down to perfection. I used to make them feel really, really uncomfortable on the other side of the counter. Saying, I know you look as though you're covered in paint. You're probably decorated at your mother's again, are you? But, we would like you to find, lucrative employment. Seeing as you are an accomplished painter and decorator, I'm sure that you could find some paid employment. And then you can sign off the government money, You knew full well what they were doing. They were painting on the side, But you can't accuse them of doing that unless you've got proof, you see. You've got to, make sure you know that they are doing a job before you can accuse them of doing that. But we had 4 people for doing that, not me. I used to just be very sarcastic. Painting your mother's again? My goodness, how many times have you painted it this year? Oh dear. Anyway, upon that note, with 2 sleeping dogs and still a parcel to arrive, I'm going to go and wish you all a happy day. What day is it today? Wednesday. I know it's Wednesday because it was the bin day, when they come and collect the refuse. We've got a very disjointed, you have to have your bins out on the pavement with the handles facing outwards the night before or before 7 o'clock in the morning, otherwise they'll get left. It irritates my son so much, this. And the lid's got to be firmly down. They won't take it if the lid's standing up. You have to sort of practically stand in the bin. But then if you compress it too much and it doesn't empty when they put it on the wagon that goes boom, 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 you've still got a full bin when you go outside. Oh, and we have all this recycling. I don't know whether you do or not. You know, a bin for the paper, a bin for the jars and the bottles and that, a bin for the garden waste and for, you know, your fruit and vegetable waste, things like that. We have a bin for that. And then we have the general bin. And as we're not supposed to put hardly anything in this general bin, it's not supposed to get full. But there's so many things that fall between the gaps where you can't put it in either of the recycling bins because certain things they don't want in the recycling bins. So you've still got to put it in your main bin. Maybe we're just messy people, I don't know. We seem to have a lot of stuff to go in the main bin. And I stand there many a time thinking, is it recyclable? Is it not? Which bin do I put it in? Yeah. Because they stick little stickers on your bin, like Big Brother's watching you. Stick little stickers on saying, we couldn't empty your bin today because we noticed you have got the wrong products in your bin. Hey! So that means I've got to go fishing through the bin and try and find out which is the wrong product to take it out. And by the time they come 3 weeks later, because they only empty them every 3 weeks, the time they come 3 weeks later, you know, your bin's like overflowing because... So I started now putting anything I think's a bit dubious further down the bin. And putting all the things I know are safe, like the glass bottles and stuff, on top of the bin, so that they don't notice if there's anything dubious in my bin. What are we supposed to do with our rubbish? Put it in a black bin bag. I mean, it was great when we had the refuse tip just down the next street. And I had a car. I would just load everything into a black bin bag, tie the top round, take a little trip, wave at the horses as I went by because there was horses in fields, and put it in the tip. Problem solved. But now, of course, I've got no car, and there is no way I would go in my scooter because the road is so narrow. But in any case, I can't do that because they've closed the tip. And unfortunately, what it happens now is that people fly tip outside the gates of what was the tip. Refuse dump, whatever you want to call it. So people leave sofas and everything down there now, which is far worse than when we had the tip. At least you knew what to do with there was a place for TVs, there was a place for fridges, there was a place for metal, a place for cardboard, a place for everything, and even a place to put your old Christmas trees. And then they wonder why people leave Christmas trees by the side of the road because they just don't know where to put them anymore. You know, if there was a Christmas tree recycling place, I'm sure people would take them there. All to save money, isn't it? Our rates go, we pay rates in the UK, I don't know what you pay in the US. We pay rates that are supposed to upkeep things like the police, the refuse collection, the street sweeping, which never happens, the grid cleaning, which rarely happens, hanging baskets, which never happens, Christmas tree lights, which we get one tree. That's all we get in Prestwich, one tree. We don't get any lights anywhere else, we don't get anything else, we get one sad looking pathetic tree. Bury, who I pay the rates to, they get wonderful decorations and they get a magical tree and everything's glittering and lit up. And we're like poor relations, you know, we get nothing at this end. Anyway, Poppy's going up to join her sister on the sofa now, aren't you, darling? Up you get. You can do it. I feel like I'm shooing my toddler up, you know, saying, there's room for you, go on. They're such big dogs that they really squabble for space on the sofa. It's a 3-seater, there's room for two dogs. Right, definitely going now. It's 20 minutes to 5 and the family will be coming home soon and I don't want to be making a video when they come through the door. So I shall bid you all farewell. Have a happy evening, happy day or whatever it is. So bye for now.